When you get two magnets and you point them to each other, they repel each other. Just so. When you bring a very pure soul towards a soul that is very corrupt, layers and layers and layers of paper mache. no, layers and layers and layers of ego and pain and suffering and various desires. When you bring the two of them together, what happens is they both repel each other, or the person or the soul that's very pure feels like a really heavy kind of energy. I don't know if you've ever experienced it. If you've ever been, I'm not saying that you need to be a saint to experience. I'm just saying that if you've ever experienced being around someone that's extremely negative, extremely depressing, I don't know if you've ever felt it, but it feels like a really strong. If you go into that person's home, it feels like there's a really strong energy that sort of pulls you down. I don't know whether other people have noticed that, or whether it's just me. But there's like a very strong energy that pulls you down in that soul's home. You can literally feel the two energies colliding, kind of thing. You can literally feel your energy. What's Luna barking for? I'm just doing my weights. What's Luna barking for?
She was sleeping and then she started barking.
I think he was banging downstairs because I didn't bang.
Dunno.
That'll make a jump, that will, if he stops banging.
The first part she done, she had her eyes closed.
Dunno. Yeah, what was I saying? I was saying that I don't know whether people have experienced it, but if you're even remotely pure, well, actually, you don't really have to be that pure. But if you visit someone that's very depressing, very pessimistic, very negative, you'll feel that energy, and it will feel uncomfortable. I don't know if people have experienced it, for instance, around alcoholics or druggies, or not even that, just people who are very, very depressing. They don't even have to take those. They don't even have to take those things, but the energy you can feel is your soul colliding with that other soul. So you get two magnets, and they kind of push against each other, or they kind of push each other away. It's a bit like that. The energies are colliding. It's like it's a bit like how earthquakes are formed, where the two plates are rubbing against each other, and one of them displaces, and it causes an earthquake. So I don't know what the point of this video is. She's looking a bit thin, isn't she? Yeah, she's always eaten. Do you think she looks a bit thin?
No.
Is it just because she stretched her stomach out by stretching it?
She probably stretched her stomach.
Little boo. I've forgotten what the purpose of this video was. But in some ways it's good to be around people like that, because you can send them positive energy in the form of prayer and meditation. But in some ways they can hold you back for years in some ways. So it's good to know, it's good to pray for them, but it's also good to know when to. This is the kind of information I could have done with years ago. And I don't claim ownership of it. It's coming through me, not from me. It's coming through me. So I think what the voice is saying is that it's good to walk away from those kind of situations right before the other person drags you down, before that soul drags you down. There's one person I'm particularly thinking of. I'm not going to mention his name, but he's always very, very, very depressing, very, very depressive. And I think for a lot of years that person dragged me down, but I'm talking personally, on my personal circumstances. But I think collectively, because a lot of people know these kind of people. I mean, they're not rare. There's a lot of people in the world who are very depressing to be around. Well, maybe not a lot, but there are people in the world, apart from this person, who are very depressing. And in those circumstances, it is better to pray for them and to meditate for them, and then sort of not spend too much time with that person, because it can drag you down and hold you back. But I suppose in another way it can actually help that soul as well. So it helps the person who's very negative because you're giving them positive energy. But the person who's already very positive, if they spend too much time with that soul, they can pick up some of the negative energy as well. So it can be a very dominating kind of thing in a way, because, for instance, people who are mentally disturbed, it's a bit like ordering a Ouija board, shall we say. We're doing a seance. If you're around such a person for a long time, you're going to end up feeling very depressed and very suicidal yourself. This is why it's good to bless those kind of people and then walk away from them, kind of thing. Because, as I say, being around extremely negative, mentally ill people is a bit like doing a Ouija board or doing a seance. You never know what to expect. And I can think of more people than that person. I can think of people from my college day. There was a woman that was always slashing her wrists and stuff, and yeah, God knows what's happened to her now. But to be around people like that is not very good for the soul. And it's good for the other person if you can send them positive energy, but it's not very good for your soul personally. Yeah. That's enough waffling on now.